Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something truly incredible, a fascinating journey that sits right at the intersection of cutting-edge biotechnology and, well, global empire building. We're going to explore how one isolated discovery in nature essentially fueled a multi-million-dollar business model. It's a model that aims to completely shift the paradigms of both the regenerative skincare industry and wealth creation. We've got a lot of ground to cover today, and we're going to take our time unpacking everything from microscopic plant cells all the way to massive global payouts.
Okay, let's dive into this, because what if the secret to reversing the sands of time was literally hidden inside an endangered Swiss apple? Now, I know that sounds like science fiction, but it's actually the exact premise that launched a real-world biological mystery. For centuries, right, humanity has been searching for ways to slow down aging. But what if the answer wasn't in some synthetic chemical lab? What if it was just sitting in a remote orchard in Switzerland? It's the kind of concept that really makes you pause and rethink where our next big scientific leap is going to come from.
So, let me introduce you to the Utwiler spatlauber. It's an incredibly rare, actually endangered, species of Swiss apple. Now, if we go way back to the 18th century, this specific apple was famous among the locals. And why? Because it had this almost miraculous storability. Think about this. Long before we had modern refrigerators, while all the other apples would shrivel up, spoil, and rot away, the Utwiler spatlauber just stayed crisp and fresh for months on end. It turns out, researchers eventually discovered that this crazy longevity was due to the unusually long lifespan of its stem cells. It gave the fruit a massive regenerative potential, basically allowing it to heal its own tissues and resist decay.
But, an apple sitting in a 19th century cellar is one thing. Actually harnessing that biological power for the human body, that is an entirely different beast. And this brings us to a pivotal transition, moving from raw, untamed nature to breakthrough modern science. A pioneering Swiss company named Mibel Biochemistry stepped into the picture. They realized that if they could somehow capture the essence of this apple's unique longevity, they could potentially revolutionize human health and skincare. But they had a huge logistical problem. The apple was endangered. That meant they absolutely couldn't harvest them by the thousands for commercial production. They literally needed a technological miracle just to bypass the limits of nature.
And that scientific miracle came to be known as Phyto Malus domestica. Mibel developed this patented, highly advanced technology that allowed them to cultivate these exceedingly rare plant stem cells in a carefully controlled lab environment. Using a specialized liposomal preparation, they actually managed to extract the powerful stem cells of this specific Swiss apple and engineer them to interact with and ideally protect human skin stem cells. It's essentially taking the apple's biological armor, isolating it at a microscopic level, and transferring that regenerative capability directly to us.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the hard science backing it all up. According to the research, we're not just looking at fancy marketing claims here. These are documented clinical results. When applied, these stem cells are designed to act like little biological factories. They've been shown to actively delay tissue atrophy, which helps your epidermal and dermal stem cells maintain their capacity to build new tissue. Researchers even observed a measurable reduction in the depth of wrinkles, especially around the eye contour area, and noted it as a significant combatant against chronological aging. The whole premise is that the cells of this resilient apple basically instruct our human skin stem cells to behave as if they were younger.
Unsurprisingly, the global cosmetic and scientific communities immediately took notice of this breakthrough. This technology boasts double award-winning Swiss excellence, even taking home the prestigious European Cosmetics Innovation Prize for Best Active Ingredient. On top of that, it operates under some of the absolute strictest global standards in the industry, securing EcoCert, Cosmos, and Naturo approvals. And those certifications are absolutely crucial. They ensure that what's being produced is recognized as a top-tier, raw organic material that meets incredibly rigorous ethical and safety benchmarks.
But beyond the whole anti-aging focus, there's a massive environmental victory here. Let's take a quick second to contrast traditional farming with this new lab-grown approach. Traditional botanical farming, it requires vast amounts of land and water. Plus, the crops are always vulnerable to unpredictable seasonal changes, pesticide use, and even toxic heavy metals leaching from the soil. In sharp contrast, the Phyto method uses a sustainable, highly controlled bioreactor environment. It literally requires just a microscopic amount of plant material to start, yielding 100% pure ingredients with zero environmental damage. It completely protects the natural biodiversity of that original endangered apple tree.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why the market for these specific ingredients is absolutely exploding worldwide. By 2026, North America alone is projected to hold a commanding 34.60% of the entire global plant stem cell market.
Consumers are aggressively shifting their buying habits, right? They want clean beauty, they want ethical sourcing, and they want highly effective regenerative solutions. The demand for sustainable, lab-grown, high-efficacy botanical products is undeniable, and it is growing at a totally unprecedented rate.
So, okay, we have a breakthrough in biological science, and we have a booming, highly lucrative market. But how does this raw technology actually reach the everyday consumer? Well, enter Phyto Science. Phyto Science recognized the unprecedented potential of Mibel's technology and immediately positioned itself as a major global pioneer in bringing it into consumer health and wellness. They developed specialized products like the crystal cell, which are specifically aimed at packing these potent plant stem cells into accessible, daily nutritional formulas for the broader market.
But here's the twist. Phyto Science didn't stop at just selling a health product. They recognized that a product generating this much interest could create massive organic global demand. So they established a system designed for what they call unleashing potential. This allows individuals to transition from just being passive consumers of a product into becoming global empire builders through a highly structured multi-level business network. It's a very distinct pivot from traditional retail directly into direct sales.
To fuel this network, Phyto Science created a highly specific payout structure, and the numbers behind this are substantial. According to their compensation plan, distributors can earn a 45% direct enroll bonus from the very first purchase of every single member they personally enroll. Additionally, there's up to a 29% team bonus based on group sales, plus a 20% roll-up bonus when your direct enrollments bring in their own new customers. It is a system mathematically built from the ground up to heavily reward immediate, consistent recruitment.
So the crucial point is understanding exactly how your entry level dictates your income ceiling within their framework. These first purchase incentives are calculated in something called Phyto Science points, or PSP. Enrolling at the platinum level aims to maximize your returns across the board. For example, looking at their numbers, a platinum enroller bringing in a VVIP package instantly earns 675 PSP. Compare that to a silver enroller who only makes 375 PSP for doing the exact same amount of work. The internal math is super straightforward here. A higher initial package yields significantly higher instant income right from day one.
But that instant income? That's framed as just the beginning. According to the company, true wealth in the system comes from what they call the power of duplication. Building a sales team allows you to theoretically trade your direct, 24-hour time-bound labor for scalable residual income. The whole premise is that by simply enrolling new members and teaching them to duplicate that exact effort, say making sure everyone brings in just 2 or 4 people, your team's collective output and your subsequent bonuses grow exponentially.
Let's move to and see how this builds long-term. Phyto Science outlines some serious rewards for those who build deep into their networks. Their team development bonus calculates your left and right team sales daily, allowing for what they describe as unlimited income potential. And on top of that, there's a matching bonus that pays you 20% on the first purchase and team development bonuses of your entire network, stretching all the way down to 10 levels deep. The whole idea is that you aren't just earning on your own hard work, you're earning on the success you help create for everyone in your downline.
As your team and your income grow, you actually start ascending the ranks of leadership. Starting from 1 star, the path stretches upward through the diamond ranks, all the way to the ultimate pinnacle, Royal Crown. Now, these aspirational ranks aren't just fancy titles within the community. They unlock further ranking rewards. The entire system is designed around this philosophy that consistent action and strong leadership yield the maximum long-term financial results for the company's top distributors.
And reaching those higher tiers triggers targeted lifestyle rewards. Phyto Science has implemented specific incentives to reflect the success of its builders. When a distributor accumulates 100,000 PSP in total income, boom, they trigger the car fund, which rewards them with an extra 10,000 PSP. Push that to 300,000 PSP in accumulated income, and they unlock the house fund with a massive 30,000 PSP reward. The model is deliberately structured so that your accumulated business points can essentially pay for your desired lifestyle.
And the corporate incentives, they just keep evolving. For those building right now, Phyto Science has launched the Sponsor Campaign 2027. Top achievers during this period are promised a totally all-expenses-paid 9-day luxurious trip to Malaysia. We're talking about staying near the iconic Merdeka 118, literally the second tallest building in the world. It's presented as this ultimate opportunity to discover the corporate roots, inspire your network, and celebrate success with the global elite of the company.
Honestly, everything we've covered today, from the preservation of a rare Swiss apple's remarkable cellular longevity all the way to the heavily structured financial rewards of the network marketing plan, it's all perfectly encapsulated in the Phyto Science mission statement, unleashing potential, creating empires. They have taken a very real, tangible tier of biological science and paired it directly with a massive direct sales economic vehicle. So I want to leave you with this final thought as we wrap up our deep dive into the data, the biotechnology, and the business structure. We've seen the clinical studies from Mabel, and we've explored the compensation plan from Phyto Science. So I ask you, if a single apple holds the biological key to cellular longevity, what could this science actually do for your health, your wealth, and your own future empire? The information is sitting right in front of you. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this has sparked a fire to learn more. Until next time.